Warning. Say this from me heart on a rum chat. Here we contact, get your gunshot. Make the sun dark and the ground black. We plant calm but I never agriculture. I know the eagle in the younger the eagle when young people that are the vulture. Say them evil never the vulture. They coulda run pan diesel at a fee punja. Away the blood clot to some gun back. Away the blood clot to some gun back. Easy we coulda speech it inna the Honda. Sleepy gunshot beat him in him slumber. Greedy fi make them dopey a the younger. Glad say me not pre when me the younger. That no mean say no pussy can try. Pussy try run up and give with them life. Can't see penalty give with 3 points. This one West boy you must see one die. Away the blood clot do some gun back. Away the blood clot do some gun back. Don't stop war with we. You will see. My dark them are real. Better agree. Don't stop while we're with. You will see. My dark them are real. Better agree.
My love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies, this hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this that exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is it fact if revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jackie. So I war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get him crack as hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on his Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain frame. Shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with the that hollow sound. Yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville. You feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game. Pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Hear the hunger in my voice, they used to tell me to speak up. The problem wasn't what I was saying, they couldn't keep up. Instead of moving around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch, found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Kept it 100 with everybody, but they just gon' change. I ain't get caught up in the hype, cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame it. And I ain't never understand that self-entitlement spirit. I felt your vibe, I don't wanna get near it. Before I made the appearance, I took a second, took a look in the mirror. This guy, Lord, the only thing that I fear. Y'all got me fucked up. This all passion, it's tradition, it ain't fashion. It's no action, they make threats and it's still passive. I think massive, no respond, that's still tact. Y'all should quit rapping. Cheap shots, I'm cinematic. I ain't average, I'm an overthrow fanatic. How I go, you lose and win like asthmatics. I got first, that's automatic. I'm the best in my division. In the ghetto like the pigeons, in the hood like the engine. You a bird for that chicken. I don't fake split decisions, cause my mind made up, nigga. We in the end of time, but my time ain't up. Now when I was young and running wild and wide-eyed like a cabbage patch, I had to get it as vivid, adapted to my habitat. It's certain shit I won't do, certain shit you can't prove. My shit sound like a payday, yours like more when the rent. If I had $1 for every dime you counted, I would be broke. Watch it be coast, got a better chance, boxing the ghost. And they know I'm raw, and they know the squad, and I'm feeling large, still in charge. I don't make it follow, I follow the law. Standing tall like they hear on March. I just got a call from my bro, he behind the wall, he told me let it off. Niggas lying for some cat, I got a different line in me. Everybody intimidated, I got that God in me. You get focused on them dimes, I'd rather keep my nine with me. Help me get this off the ground, just know you won't fly with me now.
I try and make the news, I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' be the living. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home with the truth, I ain't never had to choose.
I'm trying to get beamed up, man, y'all try and make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up, man, y'all try and make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up.
All right. 2 seconds. Make sure I got this down perfectly for y'all. All right, that should be 12. All right, get a most high hand. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Barak the thumb to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamal, the thumb Bashim Yahweh to the sisters. The water for y'all tuning in, the water for y'all in the chat. Appreciate y'all for getting that algorithm up. Like, share. Next week, West Coast Cookout, October 2nd through the 5th. Got plenty of things happening. You know what I mean? Just a reminder to put out there. You know what I mean? We got scripture breakdown, General Hyman. Then we have a lecture. Granny John Johanna. We got the cookout Saturday. It's gonna be a good time, man. Good weekend. We gonna get in. So yeah, we got a lot of things that happen as far as current events. Let's see. Current events. I had a lot of things I wanted to bring up with the current events, but I don't want to get too trapped up in current events this week. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into Bible, getting the scripture, getting the breakdowns. But a couple of things happened. Oh yeah, those dudes. Esau came up with a song about lynching. Well, they try to make it seem like they're just lynching people for justice, but we know what they was talking about. They talking about hanging people on the tree just like they used to do back in the day. They need to bring that back. So obviously Esau is showing his hand, showing his true character, his true nature. And as he gets under pressure, remember when I was saying our Esau, when we had it in class, he said I said Esau was like a lion that was full. And a lion that's full is only a threat to you when you get too close to it. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, he's not really hunting. He's not in predator mode. He's chilling. But for our oppressor, he's starting to get hungry for that oppression again. He's starting to get hungry for that oppression again. You see, he wants to put you at the bottom because he's starting to feel unsecure with his seat at the top. So what does he do? He doesn't attack Russia. He doesn't attack China. He attacks Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's what he does to make himself feel like he's on top of the world. Okay. So we're going to see a lot of attacks happening to our people, sadly. You know what I mean? Because we obviously have not opened our eyes into who the true enemy is and to who we need to be concerned about, to who we need to gather ourselves together against. You know what I'm saying? But our eyes will open soon. So you got people, bodies in bayous being found, people still being hung from freeway, what was it, from the freeway bridge? No, I mean, what else? Freaking 60 children found that was missing in Texas. Women missing in Houston. What else we got? Oh yeah, the man that was do it. He was found hanging. Do it NY or D. So like if I messed that name up. What else? Man, MAGA with the what is it? Charlie Kirk funeral. Now they're talking about Rise Up, and I mean it's a whole bunch of things happening, man. We will see the true nature of Esau in a minute. There's so many things happening in the world. Every week is just going to continue to keep on getting worse, but it's up for us to put it out there and to show and prove that what we've been saying, that the white man is the devil, that the Bible speaks of, is true. We gotta push that out there, because this is his nature and this is what he's going to do. Otherwise, we're going to keep on being unalived. Otherwise, we're going to continue to keep on getting hung and things of that nature. So it's up for us to be able to get that message out to our people that we need to get together. We need to stop harming one another. We need to stop doing wrong to one another. And we need to gather together, and we need to gather ourselves against who we know the true enemy is. So other than that, you know what I'm saying, we're going to do the topic of today's class, which is what you were supposed to do last week, but you know what I mean, not enough time. This week is going to be pretty much the same thing. Probably be here for a short period of time, but we're going to get the lesson in. So now this topic is all based on the different entities of devil, Satan, and Lucifer. Now, the Christian church, it teaches us that these are all the same entity. Satan is the devil is Satan, things of that nature. Okay. The folklore is, or the story that's been told is that there was a rebellion in heaven with the angels, because the angels were so lustful for to sleep with humans that they rebelled, and Satan was so lustful onto taking the position of God, and they rebelled against God, and they were cast down from heaven down to earth, and then they slept with humans and made giants. This is all a made up story. All made up. It doesn't exist. There is no angel that rebels against God. There's nobody who rebels against God or willing to rebel against God other than us, humans. You know what I'm saying? Especially Israel. I mean, because God gave us laws and instructions, and we made promises to the Lord that we decided not to keep. So that actual rebellion was from Israel to God. We rebelled against God. Okay. So this whole story about the fallen angels and everything like that, we're going to get into it, man. We're going to figure out what the Bible is actually saying when it comes to what Satan's position is to God, what Lucifer's position is in the Bible, and what the devil's position, what the devils are in the Bible. We're going to get into all those. So starting off, we're going to get into, let's start with Satan, right? So Satan is he is a worker under the Lord. He's part of the Lord's army. He's a worker for the Lord. Nothing is done when it comes to Satan. Nothing is done unless it's done under God's bidding. You can't sit there and say that the evils that are done to you were done to you because Satan did it. No, the evils that were done to you because the Lord said it. The Lord instructed it. And Satan did his job into reassuring that the deceived were deceived or evil was done. Okay. So we can't, it's not even just Satan. There's workers that are under God's counsel, that things are done under the circumstances of what happens in your life, whether that be good or whether that be evil, but it's all under God's authority. Nobody goes outside of what the Lord instructs and what the Lord puts that order in. Nobody goes beyond that and does anything beyond the Lord's order. You know what I mean? If anything that was done seemed like it was evil unto you, is because the Lord sent it to be done. Okay, so let's get into Job 1 and 6. Let's see. Let me get there. The book of Job, chapter 1 and 6. We're going to get into the interaction between God, the Most High, and Satan, right? Let's see. Okay. So it says, the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 6, it says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth. So we're talking about this is after the time period where they said that Satan rebelled against God. So this is not making any sense. If you look at it from a perspective of how Christianity puts it, that Satan rebelled and he left and he came to rule the earth, right? This is a council between God and the angels, and Satan's there. Why is Satan there? Because Satan is a part of the council. So the Most High asked Satan, where you been at? Now, if you think that these are two people who are at odds with each other and that obviously are enemies, why would the Lord even be concerned about Satan's whereabouts? You know what I mean? And then not just that, not only if you are being asked something from somebody who you are at odds with, you're not going to sit there and just answer with a solid answer. You know what I mean? You're going to sit over here like, what you mean where I've been? Like, what is it? What is it your business of where I've been at? Mind your business or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But no, Satan answers back to the Most High's question because he is under the authority of the Most High. So he's answering these questions because he's under his authority, right? It says, okay, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for naught? So going back to this, when he's saying a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. He's not saying the Most High is not saying one that fears God and dismisses you. You know what I mean? He's saying that he escheweth evil because he stays away from wickedness. He stays away from evil. But he's not saying that like, oh, Satan is the evil. He's just saying he's staying away from it. If they were at odds with each other, the Lord would be like, you know what I mean? He fears me and he dismisses you. But there is no spiritual battle in that type of realm. The Lord is the cause of good and evil. He's the one who sends the order out of the things, the good and the things bad. You know what I mean? That's why you fear the Lord, because if without fearing him, things bad can happen to you. You get what I'm saying? So, and the Lord said unto Satan, okay, so we're on verse 9. And it says, then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for naught? Has not thou made a hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So this is not a conversation between two enemies. This is the Lord giving Satan an order. Satan puts out the perspective that Job is protected. Job has a lot of good things happening around him, which is why he stays so faithful and stays so fearing of God. So he's saying, if you take these things from him, then he's going to curse you. If you put him to the test. Now, mind you, if you stay right there, then you'll have an understanding of what this class topic is all about. Okay, if you stay right there. Now, Pete. So he asks him, Lord, you do these things. He's not saying, oh, I'm going to do these things. I'm going to put him to the test. He's saying, if you do these things to him, then he will curse you. So he's telling him that without these things that Job has, he's going to curse you. He's going to fall short. The Lord says, what do you say at the end? He says, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. He's giving him orders of what he can do and what he can't do. This is not a person who is an enemy of God. You know what I mean? This is not a person that's an enemy of God. This is a worker of the Lord. The Lord gave him stipulations of what he can do and what he can't do. This is not a rebel. This is someone who's taking order, who's taking instructions. If Satan really was a rebel against the Lord, he wouldn't care what the Lord was talking about. What order he gave him, he wouldn't have did it. But this is not the order of two adversaries. Even though Satan is the adversary, but he's the adversary of you and your knowledge and your understanding. Now we're gonna get to that in a minute. But yeah, so this is how you get an understanding of the relationship between God and Satan. Satan is no different than any other angel that the Lord has created. There is no rebellion. There is no angel that went against God. And you know what I mean? All angels are under the authority. Even when Christ came and spoke to those unclean spirits that was in that man that called themselves Legion, they were afraid when they seen Christ, and they were afraid because that's their authority. That's their authority figure. And when Christ cast them out, they begged Christ, okay, well, can you at least put us in those pigs? Because what is their job and what is their duty? It is to kill the host. Now we're going to get into devils in a second, but right now we're just getting the aspect of Satan and the Lord's relationship. So Satan works for the Lord. He's an angel that works for the Lord. He goes out and he goes to and fro upon the earth to cause what? Confusion. Confusion to what? Those who are not of fear of the Lord, are not in fear of the Lord. Where's that at? Let me see. Let me see. Okay, that's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 4. 2 Corinthians 4 and 4. This is Satan's duty. Let me get there. So in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 4, it says, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. Okay. So Satan is the God of this world. I'll get into that. But we're gonna come back to this precept. Can't no notice. What the heck? Anywho, so it says, in whom God of this world had blinded the minds of them which believe not. So Satan is causing confusion to those who are in a position. This is why he wanted to tempt Job, to test his belief, to test his faith, to test how much he truly fears the Lord. That's his job. His job is to go to and fro, to put you to the test, or to cause confusion. Because there's things that can happen in this world, like Christianity, like fake Israelites, like things of that nature that Satan is working on. You know what I mean? Like he uses that to manipulate the ones who are weak in faith, like that lack the fear of the Lord. You get what I'm saying? So he's using that tactic, and he uses tactics upon the world, and then he's also testing you spiritually. Okay, everything that happens around you, you got to look at it from a spiritual lens. Okay, because it could be you being tested, being put to the test. It depends, but the life you lead is going to be a test. Why is that important? Because the battle is not between God and Satan. That's not what the spiritual battle is talking about in the Bible. The spiritual battle is talking about you and your principalities, the things that you believe in, the way that you live, the way that you think. That's what the true battle is. It's not between a rebellion that happened in heaven between God and Satan, and you're choosing which hood you want to be from, Satan's hood or God's hood. That doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? You're either with God or you're against God, point blank, period. But Satan is with God. He works for God. So you can't see it in the lens of what Christianity tries to bring for confusion. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Blinding the minds of which who believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Okay, so hey, we are 30 minutes in already. Jesus Christ, just getting started. So that is the position of Satan. There is no falling out. Where we at? There is no falling out between Satan and him taking people down on earth, or taking angels with him who rebelled against God and causing and making their own army, and then now they have this. That's a made up folklore story that was just put out there to make you feel like it's not you, it's Satan, but it is you. When you submit to the will of the wickedness that you conjure up in your brain, that's you. It's not Satan. Satan didn't force you to do it. If you watch this, there's this one show. It's called True Blood. I advise you not to watch it though. But there's this one lady on there, and she's like supposed to be this spiritually, like she's like a real Southern church lady, and she's always, every time she does something evil, she always saying, Satan made me do it. The devil made me do it. Satan made me do it. But really, it's just her. It's her and her addiction, and she's submitting to herself. And that's how it is for all of them. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. Nobody's forcing your hand. You did it yourself. Okay. You submitted to the will of the wickedness in your mind. That's it. There is no one forcing you to do anything. You did it yourself. Okay. So, where we at? Let's see. Okay. So, real quick, we're going to get into, should we go to spirits next or Lucifer? Oh, we'll go to Lucifer next. So, usually, and you know what I mean, if you have had any dealings with the Christian church, devil, Lucifer, and Satan are all the same entity, okay? But we're going to get into it. Now let's get to Lucifer. Lucifer, let's see. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14 and 12. When you go to Isaiah chapter 14 and 12, you see who Lucifer is, right? 14 and 12, Isaiah chapter 14 and 12, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Now, the church has a very, very how can I say? They have a very unlearned perspective of what heaven and hell is. Okay. Falling, the Bible speaks how niggas speak, so to speak. Like we speak in slang, we speak in a way where it seems as if we're speaking about something, but it's really speaking about something else. So falling from heaven, right? Falling from heaven does not mean that an angel was cast down from heaven and came down here and was put down into earth. It's just telling you that you are falling from a high space, a high place. Saying that you have risen like the heavens is just saying that you have become great. You became, and you put yourself in a high position, in a high place. That's what it is. Right now, Esau is in his heaven. The white man is in his heaven. Why? Because he runs this world. He has dictatorship of everything that goes on in this world. He's in his heaven. We are in hell because we are in a bad space, a low state. You know what I mean? So we can either call it being in hell or being like the dust of the ground. But it's just being at a low state. We are under the foot of our oppressor. We live under the foot of our oppressor. That's being in hell. Okay? Because what does he do? He abuses us. He unalives us. He oppresses us. These are the things that he does to us. So that's being in hell. So when you read certain things like this and you don't have that understanding, you think that this is being literal and it's speaking about an entity that's falling from heaven, Lucifer falling from heaven and going into the earth, right? Now he says son of the morning. Son of the morning is not a direct name or definition. It's just saying that you shining bright. Like you shining. Okay, it's real simple. It's real simple when you understand the lingo. But a lot of us were raised, if we were raised in the Christian church, or you know what I mean, even the Muslims, they believe in heaven and hell. Well, heaven and hell is just a place that you go to when you die. But really, this is just speaking about the state of someone's position. So we saying, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? So this person, Lucifer, is fallen from a high position. Okay? How art thou cut down to the ground? See what I'm saying? Which didst weaken the nations. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So this is not saying that, okay, so you would think if you were in a Christian position that Satan was trying to be like God and trying to ascend himself higher than God, which is why he was cut down. But no, this is just saying that Lucifer was in a high place and lived and put himself in a position of being idolized as a god. Okay, it's just that easy. It's just that simple. There's no folklore story about Satan rising into trying to be above God and then being stricken down. That's a falsified story that we were told as children who didn't have understanding. Okay. What else? Which didst weaken the nations, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. This is talking about idolizing. It's not talking about someone being put in position where they were pretty much be above God. You know what I mean? You're never going to be above Most High, but they are being idolized, just like celebrities are being idolized today. That's how Trump is being idolized today. Like, people are literally willing to put their lives on the line for Trump. People are willing to believe in the dictatorship of what Trump brings. You get what I'm saying? This is being idolized. It has absolutely nothing to do with a story of Satan and God. Okay. This is talking about Lucifer. Now, who's Lucifer? Let's keep going. Matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 12:4. We figure out who Lucifer is. Says, and in that day shall ye say, praise the Lord, call upon his name, declare his doings among the people, make mention that his name is exalted. Sing unto the Lord, for he hath done excellence. So, like, I think I was supposed to stay into that. Yeah, I was supposed to stay into 14. Okay, so just go back to 14. Okay, and we're gonna just keep going down. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So this is being talked about when we're talking about heaven and hell. He's being put into a low state. He's in a high state. Now he's being put down to a low state. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof? Now stop there. What he's saying is this the man? So Lucifer is a man. You know what I mean? When you get into the folklore story of the Christians, Lucifer is an angel. But this is talking about a man. The man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. So this is it says, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts. This is verse 22. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the raiment of and son and nephew, saith the Lord. So this is telling you that Lucifer is the king of Babylon. We were under Babylonian captivity at that time period. When he's speaking about Lucifer, speaking about the king of Babylon. Remember, he's talking about a man. I'm not talking about the whole concept is not speaking about the nature of Satan. It's speaking about a man who is the king and who's ruling the Israelites at the time period, which is the Babylonian king, and it was Lucifer. Okay, simple as that. So Lucifer is the king of Babylon. Okay, now when you have people who don't read and don't understand, you get a mix-up of thinking that Lucifer is just speaking about, because it correlates with the what is it, the teachings of rebellious angels. It correlates with that. So they would try to make it seem, but Isaiah is speaking to the king of Babylon in this scripture. Okay, so with that, freaking where we at? Where was we at? What was I at with that? Okay, so that's with Lucifer. Lucifer is the Babylonian king, and we're gonna get into what Lucifer is. I mean, what is the Babylonian king is also mentioned in Ezekiel too, but I gotta find that precept. But okay, so let's get into devils, right? Devils or devil, because they try to correlate it all with Satan, right? So let's get into, let's see. Go to Luke 10 and 17. So now I remember where I was going with that. So when they says that what's the name? Lucifer fell from heaven, son of the morning. You go to Luke, and Christians will try to correlate Luke 10 and 17 with that same chapter and try to say that, see, this is Satan, right? Let's see. 10 and 17. Okay, so 10 and 17, it says, and the 70 return again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. So it's saying devils, right? Now, because we're getting into devils and we're leading to what the definition of devils are, I'll just get into that because we're at this precept. Devils, the reason why I'm saying devils is because these are deceivers. These are, they're speaking about spirits, right? Because devil just means deceiver. It just means deceiver. Now it's saying devils, but in the Old Testament, it also says unclean spirits. So it went from unclean spirits in the Old Testament, and in the New Testament, it says devils and what else? I forgot what it was. But the devil and devil, it just means deceivers. It just means deceiver. So a unclean spirit can be a deceiver. Unclean spirit just meaning that it's the spirit is meant to lead you astray. Okay. It's meant to pull your heart from the Lord. Okay. And it's meant to kill the host, because without the Lord and without the Lord's instruction, without the Lord's favor, it essentially leads you into death. So these unclean spirits, their job is to lead you to death. It's to lead you away from the Lord and to lead you to death, whether that be between depression, addiction, trauma, things of that nature. It's to lead you away from the Lord and to lead you into death, because eventually you without the Lord and without living in the Lord's command and in his structure, then you're going to eventually die. So in the New Testament, you're getting devils, right? So this is talking about casting, the devils are under subject. So when the Lord, we was talking about how when Christ, when he spoke to Legion, which was a man possessed with many different devils, many unclean spirits. It could have been addiction, trauma, depression, homosexuality. It could have been many things that this man was under. And when he cast those spirits out of that man, is he cast out all those unclean spirits out of that man because they were subject unto Christ. They were afraid when Christ came about, and they asked him, like, are you going to just cast us out without letting us have any place to go? Like, are we just going to get casted out into the wind? Like, at least give us a place where, you know what I mean, we can fulfill the duty of what they were supposed to do, which was kill the host. So what does he do? He casts them into some pigs. The pigs jump off the cliff and unalive themselves, right? Because that is a unclean spirit's job, is to lead you away from the Lord and lead you eventually into death. That's why, you know what I mean, you have spirits that work under the Lord to test you out, to test your faith, to test your willpower, to test you out. The battle is between you and yourself. It's not between the angels and God. You are the subject of whether if you are solid or weak. You know what I mean? Whether if you're weak or strong, that's where the battle comes in between. But all these spirits work under God, or under the authority of God. And they have their place in this world to seek out the weak who are not strong in faith and strong in structure. Okay. So that's why you got addicts and crackheads and, you know what I mean, things of that nature. You got these trannies and all this stuff. All these things are because it's under the work of Satan. Satan is the one who gets the authority from the Lord to cause all this chaos and confusion, because not everybody has that willpower to want to be saved. And some people, they mock and treat the Lord as if he's nothing. Okay. But you have these, that's why they say that the warfare is spiritual. The warfare is not carnal. You're not going out and fighting demons. The demons are within you. You are the one who are subject under the things that these things, because honestly, it's your will of whether you choose to do the wrong thing or the right thing. That's where the principality battle comes from. You can get tested to do the wrong thing, but you're going to be the one who takes the action. The unclean spirits are not going to force you to do anything. They're going to tempt you. They're going to, if you have a problem with weed, they're going to put you in a position where weed is always around you. You get what I'm saying? And if you have a problem with smoking, with getting off, stop smoking weed, they're going to test you. They're going to put you in. Now, all of a sudden, how many people, you know what I mean, used to smoke weed in the world, got into the truth, or even if you didn't even find the truth and you just stopped smoking weed. How many people just stopped smoking weed and just weed was just always around after that? You know what I mean? When you smoke weed, it was never around. It was never accessible. But when you stopped, all of a sudden, hey, come through. I got a blunt. Oh, well, you know what I mean? Just, oh yeah, well, I can give you this big old package for this price. It's just, it's more subject to you. Now you have the choice whether you're gonna smoke that weed or not. But it's the unclean spirit's job to make sure that you get tested, whether if you really about what you say you about or whether you really not. Okay. So they're saying that the 70 are saying, and they saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name, which is saying because they're under the authority of the Most High. And the Most High, if he said, if you're casting a devil out, you're getting the how can I say? You're getting the instruction from the Lord to be able to do so. You're getting the power from the Lord to be able to do so. Without the Lord's power, you are not going to be able to cast out any devils. That's why in the one situation where the Pharisee tried to cast a devil out, and the demon was like, we know Paul, we know Christ, we know Paul, you know what I mean? We know Peter, but who are you? And then the man came out butt naked, running, screaming, because, you know what I mean, because they went into him. Now the unclean spirits that the man tried to cast out of someone else went into him, and he ran out that house, kicking and screaming, butt naked. You know what I mean, he went mad. So this is why you have to have the authority to be able to cast out devils. You get what I'm saying? This is why we say it's important to know, to be taught and then to teach. And it's who you're being taught by, because a lot of people will sit over here and teach you that, you know what I mean, SAing people is lawful, or child molestation is lawful. You know what I'm saying? So who you're learning from is also, you know what I mean, it's also important too, because if you're not learning under the right people, if you're not being taught in the right manner, then you're not getting the authority from the Lord. And if you're not getting the authority from the Lord, then you're working under devils. So you're out here deceiving people. You're teaching people things that the Lord is not teaching. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to know before you go out and teach. That's why a lot of people have an issue with Isupk, because of our structural way of learning and teaching. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want to go through the 90-day program, the 90-day system. A lot of people don't want to get in all black. A lot of people don't want to be taught. A lot of people just want to go out and feel like they have the authority already from the Lord to go and teach. That's what people are confused about. They feel as if they already have the authority already. They were already chosen, and the Lord chose them to go out and to teach among the masses. But that's not how it works. In order to be able to teach, you have to be taught too. So that's the only way to be able to get out and teach to the people, right? So it says, through thy name, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall be any means but hurt you. So let me see. Okay, so we get the part where he says, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Now we just read that in Isaiah when they're speaking about Lucifer. So people will try to conjure up a lesson saying that these are both the same entity. But really when it's speaking about Satan, because when we read earlier, Satan is ruling earth. He's ruling earth because earth is ruled by confusion. It's ruled by the matters of taking God out of the situation, because that's what Satan is in position to do. He's in position to test you. So that's why that's why he's called the ruler of the earth, because this earth that we are in right now is all based on confusion. It's all based on wickedness. It's all based on evil. You know what I mean? Now saying that Satan is going against God is not a true fact. This is the way that the Lord wants it to be, because he wants to see who is down for him when all else has failed in the world. Who's going to tend to the needs of the world and not tend to the needs of what the Lord wants for his people. You get what I'm saying? So this is the warfare of the principality that we're speaking about. Now, when you see I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven, it's just saying I beheld someone in a high place, the ruler of this earth, fallen from a high place to a low state. Now, who do you have that is ruling at this point right now? What we got? Who's ruling at this point right now is Esau. Esau is the ruler of this earth. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? He's in his heaven, and soon he will be cast down from heaven, not literally, but in a state of where he's at on this planet. He's in a high state. He's being considered a person in a high state that will fall from a high state to a low state. And it's happening right now. Okay. Now you go to Romans 9, right? You go to Romans 9 and verse 17. It says, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So the Lord put Pharaoh in position when Pharaoh had hold of the children of Israel, and we were in a low state in the land of Egypt. How the Lord put Pharaoh in a high state purposely, so he can show his power on how he can take his power just like that. That's what the Lord does. You know what I mean? He will rise you up, and it doesn't mean that he's with you. he might just be working against you. The Lord is not working with, a lot of people getting confused thinking that the Lord is with America. God bless America. The Lord is with Esau because they're in a high state right now. And so that tend to make you feel like you need to idolize Esau because they're in a high place. But the Lord will rise up a nation over the children of Israel just to knock them down and show his power. And that's how he's done it before. You know what I mean? And he's done it for us plenty of times, and yet we still find a way to continue to keep messing up and finding ourselves underneath the oppression of another nation. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord raised Pharaoh up just to bring him down. And this is what the Lord does. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he hardened. He hardened. Now check this out. Isaiah 45:7. Isaiah 45:7, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So you cannot sit there and say, oh, Satan made me do it. Satan did it. Satan did it. The Lord did it. The Lord is doing it. And the Lord is doing it for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if a man has a wicked wife, it's not because it's just because the wife's wicked. It's because you are a wicked man. A wicked man obtains a wicked woman. That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? So there's something in you that you need to be able to fix, because if there's anything happening in your life where it seems to a state of evil, it's because the Lord is wanting it to happen. So you got to put yourself in position where you either need to battle those things that seem evil unto you, battle it, because it might be you being put to the test, or maybe you're being judged for the wickedness you've done. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you battle and you fight, because allowing the evil to overcome you is just like giving up. It's just saying, okay, I'm just going to submit to this evil that's happening to me. You never submit. You always fight. You always give yourself a shot, and always keep your faith strong when it comes to you and the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And that is your walk of life. Now let's get into Ahab, right? This is how you know that the Lord does these things. There's even records in the Bible that show that the Lord doing these things to particular people. Now Ahab, Ahab was the king over Israel, right? And he was a wicked king. You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where it's like, all right, Ahab has to be unalived. So what does the Lord usually do? What we read in Job 1:6 is a counsel between the lives of men. Okay, so there was a counsel between Okay, so my ride's here. So, all right, so there's a counsel between the lives of men and let's see what goes down in the life of men. So let's go to 1 Kings chapter 22 and verse 21. First Kings 22 and verse and 20 and chapter 22 and verse 20. We'll start at 19. 1 Kings 22 and 19. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left hand. So this is the council that's happening in the fourth dimension in heaven with the Lord and his angels, right? And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit, in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also, go forth and do so. Now, therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil concerning thee. So this is the Lord giving order of a lying spirit to be able to be put on to the prophets of Ahab. And what did they do? They told him to come out to encourage his soldiers, go out to the battlefield to encourage his soldiers to want to fight, right? To fight, to pretty much fight better and fight harder. Ahab goes out there, he's shielded up with a whole bunch of shields so that he'd be under protection and nothing will happen to him. But that counsel that they told him, that Ahab followed the instructions of his prophets and said, okay, I'll go out there and I'll you know what I mean, I'll root my army on. When he goes out there, it's like a small slit within his armor. A man shoots a bow out, and he's in disguise, so they don't know he's the king. You know what I'm saying? But a man shoots a bow, that bow hits King Ahab, and he dies, just like that. You get what I'm saying? So this is what happened to the life of that man, because he did so much evil that the Lord had evil done to him. So the Lord caused that wicked spirit to go out. The Lord causes all of these things to happen. There is no rebellious army that's going against God and making these things happen to you. The Lord is instructing it for it to happen to you, because maybe there's something that you are doing that may seem as if it's a weakness that you are afraid to fight, or it's something that just you're being put to the test, or it's something that you're being judged because you've done so much evil. Now it's time for the point that you push the Lord's anger to the point where you have to be judged. Okay, that's what it is. So devils, Lucifer, Satan, these are all separate entities. There is no angel that rebels against God. There is no fallen angel. I wanted to get into Jude chapter 1. So if you want to read that too, it talks about who the angels are. The angels are the angels that rebelled against God is Israel. That's who the angels are. You can get into that when you read Jude. Jude is only one chapter. You read that, you see that the angels are Israel. Okay, that they're speaking about. You get what I'm saying? Angel just it could be messenger, things of that nature. It doesn't exactly mean that there's the spirits that work under God. You get what I'm saying? But angel in that sense, when they're talking about the angel that fell from heaven, which I was going to get into, is talking about Israel. Okay, and you can read that in Jude in the book of Jude, right? Okay, so let's see. I think we went through everything. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay. So Most High Christ. Sorry I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you have any questions, put it in the chat. We'll get to it next week. But that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Most High hand. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. So like again, we got the cookout next week. Hopefully we see y'all there. The water for y'all tuning in, the water for y'all in the chat. Say shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yahshai Barak Thumb to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Thumb Bashem Yahshai to the sisters. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Most High Christ.